I see this as a moment that it has got to be all hands on deck, a whole of government response. I get it. Congress could act, but we just don't have the votes right now. So we need the president of the United States to act.
What do you want him to do?
So we put a list. You got to have a plan. So Patty Murray and I and nearly 24 other senators, all Democrats, of course, said, here's a list of things you can do, Mr. President. And it starts with making sure that there's more access to medication abortions. Right now, there are restrictions on the availability of that drug that are not medically necessary, they're politically necessary. Okay, let's get rid of those. Let's do only what's medically necessary.
And that can be done by executive action?
That can be done.
Okay.
That can be done through the FDA. We've got, it's lots of agencies. I say executive action. It's really the agencies, it's every part, but it's whole of government is our response. Another part that we can make sure is that people who receive Medicaid for their medical care get the full range of services that by law are supposed to be available to them, including choice of provider. And that means enough of these states deciding Planned Parenthood can't operate within their borders. So it's being aggressive and pushing back on that. Another piece is we want the administration to explore what can be done with federal property within the states that are hostile. How about if the federal government looks into the possibility, can they have clinics there? Can we give advice there? How can we be helpful? Federal government is a huge employer. So is the federal government stepping up and saying that if a federal employee lives in a state that is restricting access to abortion, that as an employer, the federal government will make sure that not only will that woman's health care be covered, but her transportation will be covered, and she gets a longer period.
Or if it's illegal to leave the state, such as in some of these states where they're saying, well, it's illegal to leave the state, or if somebody's on a military base.
Exactly. In fact, and I'll give you one more, and that is, as you know, there are now apps, for example, that track a woman's period. Well, instead of those being something that's just available to the woman, the federal government can remind the sites and clarify under HIPAA and other laws that those data have to be held private, cannot be sold to others, cannot be made accessible to others who may want to interfere with that woman's individual health decisions and want to be able to monitor her. So there's the whole point of this is to say there are a lot of different directions where the government could go. We want to see this administration all hands on deck. This is a 5-alarm fire. We need to be fighting.